Okay,
real and to be
welcome.
very analytical at any level. You can't take the whole thing and to approximate the whole
So we are not very many in this event. It's like me and two other people. So it will be pretty laid back. Hi, my name is Sīmanis and I will talk about game development. So I am from Latvia. I work in a company that makes mobile games. I specialize in 2D art and Unity development, even though my actual job responsibilities are not directly related to that. I have been working in game development for something like 3 years, not a very long time, and over the time I have participated in more than 10 game jams and abandoned something like 12 personal projects. So in this presentation I have a bunch of stuff that I could talk about, and if you want me to go deeper into one of the topics, then you can just ask me. Otherwise I will just talk about game development in Latvia and how I got into game development and some basic suggestions and for both game development and for participating in game jams. So maybe you know something about game development in Latvia or no? No? Okay. Then I will briefly go over what I know about the size and all the things that I think are interesting and important. So this is a chart of the revenue and the turnover of the game industry in Latvia. The blue line is the turnover and the green line is the revenue. So it's not very big industry, but it is growing. And this is not the latest data, but it shows that we have 61 companies that are officially registered as game development companies, and something like 70% of them are making losses. 16 companies are making profit, but only 4 companies are making more than 1,000 euros for profit. I'm not sure if it's over a year. I guess it's over a year, and it has definitely changed, because you can see in 2017 it was 3 million euros profit, and last year it was 8 million euros. So probably it looks a bit better right now, and most of the people that work in this industry are men. These are the biggest companies. The number one is Estoti. It's based in Riga, and they are making mobile games, hyper-casual games, and they are very successful at making these games very quickly and publishing them. So they have very many games that are in top charts. And the second biggest company is Brain Games. They make board games, and they also have a shop in Tallinn, I think, and and in Lithuania maybe. And their board games are very critically acclaimed. There's this chart of top 10 best board games in the world, and in one of those charts they have 3 games, and not best rated games. And I didn't include the third company because it is a foreign branch in Latvia. And the fourth biggest company is Fufla. That's where I work. We have a bunch of board games, multiplayer board games that you can play on the phone or on the web. And our biggest game is called Bacterial Takeover. It is like an incremental idle clicker where you produce bacteria and use them to destroy Linux. And the fifth largest company is operating losses. I don't know much about them. I think they made a browser game that was sponsored by European Union, and it was something similar to these Travian and stuff like that. And these are the biggest foreign companies that have branches or will have branches in Latvia. One of them is TinyBuild. They are currently in the process of opening an office in Riga. And their most popular games are Hello Neighbor, Party Hard, and Speedrunners. And the second big company is Gamedev. Their main offices are in Lithuania, but they also have a branch in Latvia. And they make various social games and mobile games. And they are also the biggest sponsor of Gamedev.lv, which is the Latvian Game Developers Association. For several years they have given us some money to make events and stuff like that. And as for the type of games that we make in Latvia, well, I don't think it's bad to make hyper-casual or mobile games. It's just like I'm not personally very interested in these genres, but most of the games are like reskins. There are also something like 2 games that involve for some reason blockchain technology, a bunch of match 3 games and stuff like that. And here are some examples. I haven't played any of them, maybe they are actually really good. The top right game, Hash Dash, is a game where you can mine not Bitcoin, but some kind of specific cryptocurrency. And actually, when I started to look into this game, I found like some really nice screenshots. Maybe it's not so bad after all. It's simply that really, I'm not a big fan of this type of forced things. Yeah. And but also there are some examples of games that I personally think are interesting. They are sort of like true indie games. They have their artistic value, unique art style, and interesting ideas. And you can feel that they have like a sort of personal touch. It doesn't feel like something out of a factory, but it's like made with human hands. So from these games I have played only Merchant of the Skies, top left. It is a sort of strategy game, resource management. You have like your trading ship and you are sailing across the skies and trading on various islands and encountering some interesting adventures. Space Wreck is sort of a hobby project of one person who is really obsessed with the old RPG games like Fallout and others. And the game in the middle, Dual Stop, it is a pixel art game that won the Game of the Year in Latvia, I think last year. It is like a weird game where you have a bunch of puzzles and you are going against the rules of the game and annoying the narrator. Rise of the Slime King is a game that hasn't been released yet. It is also a passion project of one developer. I don't know whether it will be good, but it has already been nominated for like the best graphics in Baltic countries, and we will see if they win or not. And Try to Fall Asleep is a horror game. Yeah. This summer I think a very big YouTuber played it. It's Jacksepticeye. I I don't know if it's a good game or not, but sort of the concept sounds interesting. You are like a sick person and your goal is to fall asleep, but you see all these monsters and yeah. But most of the Latvian games I think are pretty average. They have something interesting in them, but probably not enough to stand out. Next week, the guy who made Gory Tale will be coming here. Hopefully he will have more people who will listen to him. He is very good Unity programmer, and he basically made most of the game by himself. The game was started here, in one of the game jams, I think 2 or something like 2 years ago, or maybe not. Then there's Flashing Lights, which is a police, some kind of simulator. Bear Slayer, which is in Latvia we have like this national hero that's called Bear Slayer, and this game is about him. It's a platformer where you only have to use one button to jump around. And also Security Breach, which was recently released on early access on Steam, I think. It's a tower defense game for PC, and it's really interesting how they chose this name. And later they realized that it was a really big mistake, because when you write Security Breach in Google, it like autocorrects to Security Breach, like security as in protection, and it's really difficult to find any information about it on Google. Yeah, it was pretty unlucky, I would say. So, some organizations that are related to game development in Latvia. The main one is Gamedev LV, the Game Developers Association of Latvia. And they have something like 80 members, and they organize monthly meetups, and I would say they are the main organization that is related to game development. Then there is also XR LV. It's an association or a club, or however you call it, of people that are interested in extended reality, virtual reality, and augmented reality. And they also are like organizing meetups and hackathons and stuff like that. Then there is LIAA. It is a government organization. It is the investment agency for developing Latvia, and they sometimes sponsor some kind of trips or conventions for the members of the association to help them develop their games. And then there is Ventspils Digitālais Centrs, which recently received some funding from this BGA. And they are working on a plan how to improve the game development scene in Latvia. So here are some events that we have. We have monthly meetups in Riga, organized by Gamedev. Everyone can participate. We also usually have like a stream, but I think the main point of going to these meetups is to network. Not always the presentations are very interesting. Sometimes they are, sometimes they are not. Then every year we organize a global game jam. And in February we award the best game with the award. It's in several categories: best graphics, best gameplay, best PC game, best mobile game, and best sound. Maybe there were more categories, I don't remember. Then in spring we have a local competition for developing your own games, and you can win like a small amount of money. And then also in April we have a Gamedev conference, where anyone can participate. Up till now it has always been free, and we have speakers from foreign countries. Like this year we had someone from one of the developers of Cultist Simulator, and also many speakers from other places. Sometimes we also organize VR hackathons, and these are the main things. I think I forgot something, but I don't know what it was. So these are the important cities. The most important is Riga, of course. Almost all events take place there. Then, can you see the cursor? Yeah. This is Valmiera. They have a university where they teach VR at master's level, and they sometimes have hackathons, VR hackathons. Then this is Reizekne. Here there is one game studio located, and Ventspils, where this place is located. I actually skipped this slide. These are we don't have a lot of education institutions in Latvia that are related to game development. Only one university teaches program that is about game development. This one, University of Culture and Economics, and it is mostly about design and graphics for video games. And then there's also Vidzem Augstskola, Vidzem University of Applied Sciences, which is here. Yeah. And here are some more cities. I don't know why they are so important, other than that they have some game companies there. So, yeah, that's it about the game dev scene in Latvia. You can ask questions now or later or whatever, if you didn't understand something or yeah.
Like, what is the average Latvian game developer studio like? Are they like some very small indies, or are they, if they like make average games, then are they like bigger companies pushing out some stuff for like smaller indies?
Okay.
And any advice for our organization for organizing meetups, and because usually we have done them over the bar, yes. That sometimes can be forgotten. For example, if we would organize meetup in here, then probably no one would show up. So what's the secret?
Okay.
I will check the screen.
Sure. I actually hope you can hear anything on the screen on the stream, because I talk pretty quietly. I can answer the first question maybe, and also the second now. So the average game company, I think the average developer in Latvia is like he has this dream that he wants to make a game, and he doesn't want to collaborate with anyone. He just wants to do it himself. But there are also some very business-oriented companies that make mobile games, and only they either try to copy what has been successful before, like for example, this is a copy of Clash of Clans. This is simply a match-3 game, so they take some safe choices and try to be successful and earn money that way. Yes, I guess that's kind of the average. And advice for organizing meetups, well, I think what really helps us is that we have them always at one time. It's always every second Wednesday of the month, so you know that there will be this meetup, and you can plan for it. I don't know how it is here. Do you have it like every month, or do you have some other schedule? And yeah. Maybe I will remember any other advice and mention it, but right now that's the main thing. So you have this set time every month when you have this meetup. Anyways, I started game development pretty recently. I had always thought it's like a very cool thing to do, but I never imagined that it's possible. So I made my first game when I was studying in university, and we had to make like a product for a business course. And I suggested the game, but my colleague said that it's a stupid idea, it's way too much work, and so we made the bet that I won't be able to make a game until the next time we meet, and I made a game. It was really shitty, but still, it's you had to like find a case of beer, and when you found the case of beer, you won. But it was really mind-opening experience that you can actually make a game, and it's possible. So my first serious attempt of making a game was 1 year later. I was taking Unity courses online, and we had to make a final course project, and I tried to continue to make this project after the course was over. But right now I have abandoned this project because it was not very good. So in 2017 I participated in my first game jam, global game jam in Riga, and it was very cool, and I met a lot of interesting people, and later we have participated and collaborated in other occasions, and I also met my current co-worker, and because I met him there, he invited me to work in Fufla, where I work right now. So yeah, these are like the main things about my life in game development. Okay, I was supposed to make a joke here, but since there's no one here, there's no point in making jokes. Or like...
Are there any stream viewers right now?
Sorry? Well, I had this idea that, you know, game developers, they are pretty lonely people, and I wanted to cheer everyone up, and I wanted to like ask everyone to like say I love you, and stuff like that. So going out a circle, and everyone would feel good. But yeah, I love you for coming here.
I mean, in the stream, do you see, are there any online viewers right now?
Maybe. I'm really not good at streaming.
Maybe there are some questions already.
Oh, there are some. Fuck, there are questions. I really can't. I can't like manage like. Oh.
Music too loud.
Music too loud. Sorry. Can you actually hear me or something? Okay. I guess Smiley's face is yes. I don't know. I should have probably like studied how do you stream normally, and yeah. Let's just continue, and hopefully they won't. Maybe we can check it after like I tell all the main things. Maybe we will see some questions. So yeah, also a bunch of text. I was thinking of making a pause here. Yeah. So everyone could take a breath and drink something. So yeah, here are my main suggestions. They are really obvious if you want to work in game development, and that's why I'm giving them to you, because these are only ones that I am completely sure about. I haven't made my own business. I have only been employed, so I cannot give you advice on how to like make a successful indie title. But I think it would be good if you could look after your health. It's pretty important Yeah, I only recently realized that, and it really helps you work better. And the second thing is to find connections. I mean, like contacts, people, network with people. That's how you will find a job. At least in Latvia, it helps really a lot to find a job, be it in game development or other place. Because if the employer receives 2 CVs, one is from a person he knows and one is from a person he doesn't know, he will probably choose the one he knows. And by participation, I mean you should at every opportunity participate in various events, game jams. It's a really nice way to learn new things. Then very important thing is to keep your scope small if you start a project. It's a mistake that a lot of people make. I make it all the time that I want to make a game, but it has so many features that it's not realistically possible to finish it within my lifetime. Also try to finish what you started. And the last thing is that ideas are worthless because it's all about the execution. I had a reasoning behind that, but I can't remember it right now, but trust me. So, also, a couple of weeks ago I asked a bunch of people on social media what kind of advice they would give to themselves when they started a career in game development. And not all of this advice I think is reasonable, but some of it has some truth to it. Yeah, this is pretty good idea. Block out the negativity. Yeah. Just do it. Some more. Well, either way, I will share the link to the presentation later if you want to read through these advices, then you can do so. Yeah. Just do it with the critical view, because it's just people on the internet. We don't know if they are smarter. So, about game jams, they have their own rules, and it depends on what kind of goal do you have for your participation in the game jam. You can go there to have fun, or you can go there to make a really good game jam game, maybe win some kind of award, or just satisfy your ego. Then you can also participate to learn something new, or if you have some other personal goals. For example, in the last game jam, Ludum Dare 45, I had my own goal to create a game that has a randomly generated level. So that could be this third thing. So what kind of advice is useful for you depends on what are your goals in this game jam. And here I wrote down some general suggestions that I think are useful. So you have to set clear goals. What do you want to do? What do you want to do in the game jam? And what do you wish to accomplish together with your team? And it's always useful to prepare before the game jam, to install all the necessary programs, because otherwise it will take a lot of time, and very often there are some technical issues when you arrive at the place where the jam takes place. For example, the internet is slow, or there's some kind of Unity update that fucks everything up and nothing works. So if you just check it the day before, it will save you a lot of stress. Depending on whether you want to just have fun or make something really good, You can do a lot of planning in the beginning of the game jam, or you can just improvise and hope for the best. But it will be unlikely that you will make a good game. But it will be fun. And yes, if you wish to create a really good game, I would suggest finding people with whom you wish to work before the jam. Someone you know that they are skilled. But it's also very fun to work with people that you don't know. You can learn a lot about working in a team and managing risks. And yeah, speaking of risks, don't rely on luck. It will never work out. It will never be the best case scenario. So also you should never overestimate yourself, because you are human and you get tired. It's 48 hours usually one game jam, and you should sleep and eat and then game jam. Yeah. So here I have like some memories from my previous game jams. If you want to hear about them, like my previous projects, we can like check what the stream says maybe. Okay, maybe we can answer these two questions before moving on. What do I enjoy about working at Fufla? Okay, actually it is probably the best job I have ever had, and it's like everything you could ask for except for money. I don't get paid a lot. I get paid enough to survive and a bit more. What I enjoy about it is that it's complete freedom. You have flexible work schedule. We are very few people in company, 7 people, so we know each other very well. We have good relationships, and the people there are very nice, and we have events like just to have fun, like we have poker nights, we go to the sauna, and recently we had a LAN party, and yeah, in the office we have like this place where you can do pull-ups and play some games, and it's complete freedom. And the only way only things I could ask for more is to work on a project that is my own passion project. That is the only improvement that I could ask for, and also maybe money. More money is always nice, but otherwise I don't think I would be able to find a better job, at least in the Baltic states. Yeah.
With these skills what you have right now.
Yeah. Because what I hear from other developers is like in Latvia they are being like tortured or something. No, not always, but I really enjoy this freedom that you have, and it also motivates me to surpass people that are being tortured. Yes, I think I also answer to this not so high salary, that I have almost complete freedom, and the co-workers are really nice. So I could answer about how long do you think the first project should take when you are starting out in Gamedev? I think a day maybe. Just make something that moves on the screen and show it to your friends. Maybe it's better not to publish something like that on the internet. Just show it to your friends, and then after you have managed to make something move on the screen, then you can add a score, high score function or something like that. I remember talking to some people that came to the one game jam, and they had like this idea of no, we won't make a big game, we will just make like something like there are multiplayer elements and socializing, but it's already too much to add such things. You can try to make a copy of a well-known game like Snake and maybe add some kind of twist to it. Okay, I think these were the main questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
You know something about Estonian gaming culture. Can you compare with the Latvian one, the scene, the gaming
The scene? I think it's like in general it's pretty similar. Your biggest companies, as far as I know, are like mobile game companies. Neither Latvia nor Estonia have like companies that are making AAA games. It's just mostly mobile, social, casino games. These are the biggest players. But there are also these enthusiasts that are making their own passion projects both in Estonia and in Latvia, and they have succeeded in making something that appeals to the players. Yeah, about these perks that I have in a job. Well, we go to swimming pool every week, but I have to pay it by myself. But it's really cool. Too bad we are not hiring. Yeah, the rest of the presentation is basically me talking about some games that I have made, game jam memories. How much time do we have? Yeah, I can just go through it. My first project was, I told you about in study years, that it was about finding a case of beer. Unfortunately, I don't have even a single screenshot from that project, so there's not much to say. The second project was called Blech. It's about a white guy with no pants that is looking for flowers in a sort of this weird, bizarre universe, which kind of inspired by Silent Fingers and stuff like that, and it had like really weird graphics. But yeah, I tried to make this game into something commercially viable, but it was like not very good. Yeah, I think I worked for over a year on this. Like, I have some more screenshots and GIFs, but I was too lazy to add them. This was my first game jam game. It's called Tinfoil Prophet. It's about a crazy guy that is escaping from an insane asylum, and in the bottom of the screen, he is shouting random things that are taken from 4chan. It's like the programmers added like function that if you are connected to the internet, they will take something from the message boards. Yeah. And if you are not connected to the internet, then it is saying some phrases that we wrote ourselves. It was my first game jam. It was a really cool experience. And since I didn't have really many skills, I was mostly like writing the story and giving ideas. And we have one really good pixel artist, as you can see, but I was like doing some kind of concept art and he was improving it. So that the game would look good. This is another project that I made for a game development competition. It is a strategy game that is inspired by a game that was popular in Latvia called Karoks. This is Karoks, and this is the game that was inspired by Karoks. Karoks is like a game where you have all these units, and your goal is to capture the enemy flag, usually by first killing all his units and then just taking it. Or you can just be sneaky and try to move around. The game really wasn't very polished and playable because I didn't have much time before the competition deadline, and I was at the same time working on my main project, which was this. So I didn't want to distract myself too much. So this is the first commercial project that I was involved with when I was hired in Fufla. I was asked to write a wiki for this game. It has changed a lot over the years because unlike most companies, what we are doing, we are not publishing new games all the time. We are constantly updating our games. So a lot of new features have been added since I joined the company. So this is like a map of the galaxy, and you have to destroy all the planets using bacteria. There's like a ton of features there. So I actually don't know any other game, at least in Latvia, that any other mobile game that has so much content and depth to it. And yeah, sorry for the Latvian text. I just copied this slide from other presentation. This was my second try to make a really commercial game. This time it was for a mobile, for Android, and it's sort of a reverse tower defense game where you are in medieval France trying to quell medieval rebellion. It is actually available on Google Play, but it's on beta and I haven't updated it in a year or something because I have currently abandoned this project. Then this was a really fun game to make. We made it here in this place in Ludum Dare. It was my first participation in Ludum Dare, and the theme of that Ludum Dare was the more you have it, the worse it is. So we decided to make a game, the more levels you have, the worse it is. So you have to hide, so you have to manage your lovers and make sure that they don't discover that they are being cheated upon. The story was that there's like a meteor approaching the Earth, and you don't want to die alone, so you are trying to get as many women to like you as possible. This was a game jam where I participated alone without any team. It was a really interesting experience because I realized how much I can do alone. It was really fun. It's a fun game of Path of Exile. Maybe you know, it's pretty popular. Yeah. I really like the shitty graphics. Then this is the only VR game that I have worked in. It was made in a game jam. It's called Escape to Happy Land, and the idea is that you are a crazy person that is locked in an insane asylum, and there are doctors that are coming to with syringes. I think they are called syringes, trying to sedate you, and your goal is to like tear off their arms, and with their blood you have to write to draw a pentagram on the walls. And the pentagram will summon a unicorn, which will take you to the Happy Land. That's the goal of the game, to escape to Happy Land from. It's like I like this game, even if it's not finished. Then this is my current hobby project. I'm still working on this. It's a Diablo clone where you are stuck in hell. And you are trying to escape. Yeah. So you kill these demons and they drop their body parts and you can equip them and use it as weapons. Yeah. Still a lot of work to do, but hopefully one day it will be on Steam. Then this is another game jam game that I really liked making because I always have wanted to make a game where you have this huge boss that you have to defeat, and we also added this epic music to the game when he appears, and I really like that, and the art. However, since I was the only programmer on the team, the controls were incredibly bad. It was when you are jumping from one platform to another, it felt like you are jumping something like honey, like you are sticking to the platforms. And I tried to fix it, and it was like jumping on ice. And in the end, I was so embarrassed by how bad I made the controls that I have hidden this game from the internet. It is uploaded there, but when you search for it, you shouldn't be able to find it, hopefully. Then this was made this summer in online game jam. It is about dinosaur that is stealing strawberries from humans because humans have invaded his home planet. And when you collect enough strawberries, you can shoot lasers from your eyes. It's a pretty game, but it doesn't play very well. So yeah, that was all about my recent projects. We have some time more. I can also talk about the most recent Ludum Dare, if you want, how it went. And check also what does the stream say. Okay, no questions. Then the final thing that I could tell to you is about how it went in the last Ludum Dare here a week ago. We made this pretty game. It's called Return to Civilization, but yeah, here it's written back. So you play as a merchant that is shipwrecked in a mysterious forest, and your goal is to find 3 ship parts, and when you find them you can escape. And every time you start the game the map looks different, and in order to survive in this forest you must make sure that you are not hungry. This is the hunger meter. You are not running out of time, and you don't become insane. So when you eat a mushroom you lose a bit of sanity, but you get some, you feed yourself and you are not hungry anymore. And some mushrooms give more insanity, but some mushrooms also help you with this. So it's basically mushroom eating simulator. And we are planning to continue working on this game because the artist really likes the concept, and she is writing a game design document for this project. And I will help her make this, complete this game too. Yeah. So maybe it will be like 20-30 minutes of gameplay, hopefully. So I think I mentioned this before, but my main idea when I started was to make a randomly generated map. So I started with making this square and putting 2 different types of tiles, and every time I generate a new level they are arranged randomly. So here's some progress. I started to work on a road that would go from one side to another side, and you can see that this road is like, it has some parts where it has like 2 tiles next to each other and it looks a bit ugly. So here I made it so that it has like a lot of curves, and it is only 1 tile wide. So then I started implementing some placeholder art with this UI, and these are placeholder drawings for mushrooms. Then more art. Then I fixed the issue where you could see these sides of the tiles. Here are they like nicely put together. Then the funny thing is that we have this artist who can draw really well, but she can't animate, so I had to do the animations, and that's why the animations are really weird. I'm proud of these animations, but I think the artist would kill me. I'm surprised she didn't kill me, because I like ruined her work. So this is pretty much how it looks right now. in its sort of finished state. You can try the game out on itch.io. So these are our notes that we made during the jam. You can still see this in the other room, it hasn't been wiped off. And yeah, the things I have to do, things that are more important, and very important thing is to fix the walking, but I never really did fix it. It's really weird. So yeah, and this is the progress of the art. In the beginning we had this programmer who added this red dot as a character. Then I drew a placeholder. I'm very proud of this. Then the artist made a sketch, and then she made a finished version. Yeah, that's basically everything I had prepared. Thank you very much for staying so long. Yeah, that's it.
Where did you got the idea for the last
game?
Yeah.
So the only thing that I wanted to do was to make this random thing. So I was ready to make any kind of story. So we made a Discord server where we discussed various ideas. We just threw in, like, it could be about an assassin, it could be about a fisherman or anything else. And one idea that our artist added was about mushrooms. Like, she added like a bunch of reference photos, and I said, okay, let's make about mushrooms. So that was before the theme of the jam was announced. We already knew that we will make a game about mushrooms, and we knew that we will make a game about a random map. I really don't remember all the discussions how we arrived at the final idea, but yeah, in the beginning it was supposed to be like turn-based combat, not combat but movement, like you have limited amount of turns and you have to reach the end of the map. And it was also in the beginning supposed to be not a forest but an island in the middle of the sea. But then we thought it made more sense to be in a forest.
Yeah, mushrooms and
Yeah.
forest. I like how the metering systems are related. Like, I mean, if you eat mushrooms, your stomach gets full, but it's insane. You have to find a balance.
Yeah. Well, there is one mushroom type that also heals your brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the rarest of the mushrooms. There's like 3 types. Like the one mushroom that helps you. It was written here. Like, there are these good mushrooms that they give you some. They feed you, but they make you insane. There are bad mushrooms that feed you very little, but make you much more insane. And then there are legendary mushrooms that both feed you and heal your mind. So in the future we wish to improve the game so that there are also like other characters, you can talk with them and a bunch of other stuff. So we have one more question about how many people would work on Back to Civilization game. So right now we are 3. It's me as a programmer and the artist who is deciding on all these mechanics and story. And also we have one audio person who makes music. I don't think we need much more people, maybe a mentor or a good programmer, because I'm not very good, so I usually solve these issues in a roundabout way. So it's really weird. You know this term spaghetti code? Maybe it's like a really bad code that's not really well readable. That's what I usually make. Yeah, I don't think we need many people to finish this game. It's we will try to make it as small as possible. It's like very short. So yeah, I think that's all. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Let's end the stream. It's really nice.